Earlier today, I had a conversation with an individual, and this individual was telling me that not all Muslims are bad. And then I see a video that's put out about some Shiite Muslims who are practicing what is called Ashura or Arba'in. And it's basically the commemorating of Ali's death, the Prophet's of Islam's cousin. I went and looked at some of the comments that were made, and there was like thousands upon thousands of them. But I looked at certain comments that were being made, and a lot of the comments that were in favor of Islam were being made by whites. One of the first things that I would want to say to any white person that believes that Islam is a religion of peace, you need to go learn your facts before you start talking about something. Because most of y'all who are talking that, you probably have read very little on Islam. And if you have, it's information that is put out by moderate Muslims who have left Islamic countries such as Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Indonesia. The list can go on and on. And they've left those countries because they don't want to live under what is known as Sharia law, which is the ultimate law of Islam. Therefore, it becomes the law of a Muslim. Go do your research. Go do your homework before you start talking. Because if you even understood anything about Islam, then you would understand that Islam is based upon one simple word. And it's called jihad, which comes from the Arabic root word jahada, which means to struggle. Now, some might say, well, that can mean the struggling of the self, or in the Arabic, it's called nafs, the self or the soul, ruh. But that is not what that word means. No Islamic scholar worth his weight will ever explain that the word jihad or jihada means to struggle spiritually. It means what it means, and that is to struggle. But to struggle against what? What is it that they are struggling against? They are struggling against all those religions or practices or beliefs that go against what Islam teaches them. The word Quran comes from the root word in Arabic, qira'ah, which means to recite. To recite what? If you go to any Quran and you open it up, the second surah in that Quran, or surah in English, means chapter. The second verse in that surah or chapter sets the stage for everything that comes behind it. And there is 114 chapters in the Quran. And the very second verse in that book specifically says, in Arabic it states, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, which in English, go get any English translation for all those who want to challenge me on it. Go get any Arabic English translation of the Quran, and it will state, "This is the book. In it is guidance without doubt for those who believe." Who are those who believe? The muttaqin, those who believe. So, when you're talking about the Quran, you are not talking about an English translation. Go get any English translation, turn to the prefix, and read what it says. It will tell you, you can get Yusuf Ali, you can get Maulana Ali, you can get Muhammad Pickthall. Every one of them scholars will tell you that the Quran cannot be translated into any other language. What you have in your hand is only an attempt to explain what the Arabic is saying. Get it and read it, and you will find out in that book it calls for the death of anybody who is labeled a kufr or kuffar, which is a disbeliever. What is a disbeliever according to the Islamic teaching? Kufr or kuffar comes from the root word kuffara, which means to cover something. And what that means is that those who do not believe in monotheism according to Islam. The Arabic Muslims will say at least 100 times a day, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadar Rasulullah. And that means there is no illah, there is no God but Allah. They will not accept any other belief other than Islam. They will not accept any other God except the one they are taught to worship. And his name in the Arabic language is Allah. And I won't even begin to tell you what that name really means. But my message is to all those whites who are claiming that there is good Muslims out there. First of all, let's take a look at these so-called good Muslims you're talking about. Are you talking about those Muslims who come to this country, who sell swine, pork, which in the Quran, pork is forbidden. It is forbidden to grow a pig. It is forbidden to slaughter a pig. It is forbidden to even touch a pig. As a matter of fact, their prophet, Muhammad, stated that if you touched a pig, your prayers would not be accepted for 40 days. But yet, these so-called good Muslims come over here, they open up stores. They sell pork. They sell food that is not halal. And halal means it's permissible for the Muslim to eat it. But yet, they will sell you that meat because you're a disbeliever. You're a kuffar. The Islamic law does not apply to you. So they can sell you that. That's your good Muslim. They also come over here, buy up liquor stores, and they sell you liquor. The Quran completely forbids the consumption of alcohol, the selling of alcohol, the making of alcohol. You can't even grow grapes if the intent is to sell or make that into alcohol. But yet they'll come over here and they'll sell it to you. And they will make a profit off of this. They will also come over here and will not, a lot of these so-called good Muslims, their women will not cover their heads up when it is commanded within the Quran for them to do so. For the Muslim woman to go outside of her house without her head covered is against the Islamic teaching. But these are the good Muslims. These are the Muslims that you white people want to bring into this country. Have you not understood yet that their book tells them, "O you who believe, take not the disbelievers as protectors and friends"? So you so-called white people claim that you have Muslims who are your friends? Why is it that they're friends with you, but their book tells them to take not disbelievers as protectors and friends? If they're commanded not to take disbelievers as protectors and friends, why are they seeking asylum in disbeliever countries? Is it a coincidence that they're doing this? Or is it permissible for them to lie to you? Because according to Islamic teachings, in the act of war, it is permissible to lie to your enemy. Now, this is their book saying this. And I challenge anybody that watches this video, go read their book. Go read it. But now when you take that same book to the moderate Muslim, they'll tell you that's not what it means. However, remember what I quoted. This is the book, and it is guidance, sure without doubt, to those who believe. So, the next time you so-called white universalists want to be so quick to open your mouth and say that there's good Muslims and there's bad Muslims, learn what a Muslim is. Learn what he really is. Because what you see going on now throughout the world, that will only continue. The only Muslims who really want to come live in America, Europe, or any of these other countries is only of two types. Those who don't want to live up under their own Islamic law, and those who want to come over and destroy the law that is already in existence. Do not think for 1 minute that their ultimate goal is to eliminate anything and everything that does not bow down to Islam. In their own book, it tells them, fight the disbelievers until they have submitted to Islam. Islamiyah. Learn before you open your mouth about something. Because you might be calling your people to a death sentence with your universal outlook. And then remember something, you so-called white people who are quote unquote peace loving of Islam. Remember, the only women they're raping are white. Learn who your enemy is. Don't let it be your daughter that gets raped. Because I bet you if it was your daughter that got raped, I guarantee you there would be no such thing as a good Muslim. With that said, learn. take the time out and learn. How so?